So I've been trying to figure out how to mount the fan in the middle of the living room area with what I have on hand. This is the mounting bracket, and it's supposed to go onto a metal box. This one is an outside outlet box that I had. It's meant to screw onto a pipe, but I think I'm going to be able to get it to work because I was able to get this threaded on here. So I'm going to build a little frame to put this box on that should hopefully be strong enough to hold that fan up on that ceiling. I think it's like 40 pounds or something. So this is the A-frame of the house, and I'll put this all the way up. And this on the other one. These will be in between the rafters then. So the rafters would be essentially like this. Well, I'll put them here. That would be the rafters. And I'll have it nailed in. And then I'm going to take these pieces, put them in here centered, and have that like that. So, something like that. I gotta figure out a way to mount this on here, and I think I'm going to just use this threaded rod all the way through, just with some washers and nuts to hold it. It'll kind of just be swinging on this then, but once I frame it in, I don't think it'll be able to wobble or anything, but it will be hanging on this. But it should be plenty strong enough to hold it up. should work, I think. It's definitely sturdy. Just have to nail it up in place and then eventually get the fan hung up and wired in. This week I'm going to try real hard to get the insulation in this place finished up. I still have to do all the top pieces in between the rafters here. I got them all spray foamed and sealed, and I cut off all the excess, so now I've just got to put all the pink foam up there. It's not going to be a very fun task moving that ladder and trying to get them way up in the peak, but we'll get it done. And then hopefully by the end of the week I can get more insulation on the back walls, because I do want to get a second layer on there at least.
You're saying these ones are from Pat, not from...
I think so.
So we should have more if we need them.
I haven't seen any more. Look, there's some pretty flimsy nails.
Yeah.
Alright, ready for the next one.
Now, this one, I guess the box is going to have to go in first.
Yeah. So don't let me forget not to put that one in right now.
I want to bend it. Are you just going to be putting a nail in all of them, or?
I think so.
Cody, that's the one.
What?
That's the one you're not supposed to do. Why'd you skip one?
I don't know.
I wasn't paying attention. You can still pull that nail out though.
A narrow one for this one then. That's nice and tight now. Another nail though. I need another one.
Oh yeah, I guess you can't just walk because there's no floor. Do you need a nail?
I don't think so.
It's gonna be nice, honestly, just to get all the insulation out of the house.
Yeah.
I may have all that space. I mean, I really did want to get another one of those white tables set up right behind that sofa. But I don't think that's... You're gonna need a nail for that one.
There. Only got what, 2 more pieces there? 3 more, I guess, with that one.
Yeah, including that one.
I need to cut some more of them.
It's part of the process.
I suppose.
Get them all or one more?
2 more.
You at least have one in each corner, right?
I got one halfway on this corner. One more.
You got this.
And then I get to run the wiring up through here. Actually, I'll probably put the insulation in first.
I was gonna say, you probably want to do insulation before you do that and make it easier.
Yeah.
Which, it's gonna be kind of hard to put in little scraps above it. Okay.
Okay.
Done?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's enough fun for one day.
I'm glad you had fun.
Yeah.
I'm about to go get a couple more bundles of firewood brought in, but I kind of figured I'd go over what our wood situation looks like right now, kind of how much we're keeping in here, the different sizes, And I guess we'll just see how much this changes once we've been using the wood stove for a lot longer. So ideally, once our kitchen is done, all of this stuff that's sitting up here won't have to sit up there. And we're gonna actually do like a built-in shelving thing, I think, eventually for firewood to sit over here. But right now we kind of have this little, I think they're, I don't know, I think they're like 13 inches by 13 inches, this little cubicle thing. In the top two, we have a bunch of small stuff. So on this side, we have like the really small, like little kindling bits for starting the fire. And on this side, it's just a little bit thicker. These are just some of the offcuts that we have from our sawmill that we keep bringing in. So these bottom four are really just all of like the smaller bits that we want to use to get the stove really hot. Ideally, it would all be small spruce like this. Just because spruce burns a lot hotter and quicker. So for making food, when we want the stove to heat up really hot, this is what we want. But right now, just what's easiest for me to go grab is some like the smaller bits of birch that we have. So that's kind of filled up a bunch of this. We're trying to use only spruce at the moment while the temperatures are still fairly warm. And then we're going to save the birch for later. But if you can see behind, we have a lot of birch. So let's see if I can get this light turned on. There we go. So we have a good amount of birch kind of all stacked behind the shelving unit and in this layer. It's not stacked super pretty, but it's kind of thrown in there. It's kind of, we have to create a whole habit bringing in firewood every day or every other day. And we're not great at that yet. So we brought in a whole bunch of birch to put behind it that we want to keep for any like really bad days. So really all we want to be using is just this first layer here and then anything in this shelf. And then behind, it's just like the emergency rations that are stored inside the house that should be really dry. We do have a lot of wet wood that we've been bringing in. Some of the slightly rotten or just was sitting in snow and is soaking wet. So anything like that, we kind of just are setting along the edge. We just turn it every now and then. Just kind of let it dry up. And then once it gets dried pretty well, we'll push it off to the side. If we bring in new wet stuff, we can kind of put it there. We did have to clean out the stove. It was just getting really smoky one day, and we weren't really sure why. We assumed it had something to do with the actual stove pipe, and we thought it was just because we've been burning a lot of junk wood, and we've been experimenting with what happens when we burn wet wood, what happens when it's dry wood, but we like choke it down really far and like it smokes up a lot. We just kind of wanted to see, since none of us have used the wood stove before. So we have this that opens and closes it for the oven. And what we were doing is we were accidentally leaving it open a little bit too long. And from the fire, it has only like a 2-inch gap on the top. And then it only has a 2-inch gap on the side of the oven too, to kind of like, let the air flow around the oven to warm it up. Down here, this door, we finally figured it out. This is just for like cleaning out. So that anything that does fall either from the chimney or comes around here and falls down, it's supposed to fall down this narrow little gap here, and then we can kind of brush it out from inside this door. But what happened, I think because we were leaving this open and because we weren't burning super well and just kind of experimenting with things, we got a buildup right here, and it kind of clogged this like narrow channel for it to fall down in. So we just had to open it up and kind of push down and get that stuff to fully fall and reopen this airway, so that now it's got the path to safely go up the chimney and out the house. So this was a learning experience. I'm really happy that we learned how to kind of clean this guy out before the super cold weather. So now we know kind of what to look for, different signs, and we've kind of gotten the hang of burning now, so we're not really as worried about it. We got more snow. So we've been doing some extra shuffling around here this morning. We brought our trailer and kind of parked it over here. And I think what our plan is we're going to do a temporary solar system setup on top of it. We're going to build maybe some quick, just temporary frames for them to lean on, and we'll kind of line them all up on the trailer. facing south. It looks like Cody's trying to load them by himself, so I should probably get over there and help. I suppose. What are you doing? Oh, hold on. Both of my partners in. Oh, nope. Both my quarters. I was just gonna sweep it, and I was like, what are we doing? We've got shovels.
Yep. Oh, this one's going way easier.
Probably just a bunch of snow and ice in that one.
Yeah, right. That one is not going to go in there.
Well, you're gonna have to find the Phillips bit, because I don't have a clue where that is, and I don't know if we have any star screws.
Called torque.
Stars.
Torque.
Can be whatever you want it to be, and I want it to be a star.
At least you don't call them pluses anymore.
Plus and minus?
Yeah.
I still do every once in a while. Might as well clarify. We've got 4. We don't really need to worry about the angle on the machine.
Nah, it's going to be something like this. For the winter months, it's a lot. It's really steep. The top of the board to it.
Top of the board to the line?
Yep.
Yep.
I move it my way. Screws should be basically center.
Oh, they were. Now they're not.
Are they on at least?
Yeah. That board isn't.
It's close.
Here, spot him. Bring your bottom out more. Bring this in. Oh, whoa, that was a lot. Probably doesn't need a lot of strings.
Yeah, it wobbles, but it's not gonna come off because it's just the boards in the back wobbling.
You could always put up something on the ground, angling back towards the trailer to support up against it if we needed.
Yeah, we'll just watch it and see.
If anything, there's some nice soft trees for it to fall on. The same, it just needs to be flipped around now.
You got it?
I got it, yeah. Ooh, careful. Man.
There's a tab on the back.
Oh. Oh, I see. Okay. I was like, why is that so hard?
More flat because it lines up nice. Yep. Can you move it yourself?
Oh, can I move it? I don't know, to be determined. Oh.
Don't hit things.
Well, it's all I can see. Need to get. There we go. We can spread them out more too now, if we want gaps in between them. I don't know. I don't know what's more beneficial, to have gaps or to not have gaps.
I don't think it really matters, but I'll just kind of spread them evenly. Let the wind go through more, maybe.
It's true. Disperse the. You know, this came together a lot easier than I thought it would.
Not too bad for making it up.
Well, the framing, just a temporary hold them, I thought we'd do a lot more like intricate. So we'll have to see how this works.
Well, I gotta run the wire. I mean, it's pretty cloudy. I don't even know where the sun is right now.
What are you talking about? You don't know where the sun is. The sun's gonna be over there somewhere.
Okay.
It's not gonna be that way.
Yeah, but I don't know where it is.
Yeah, I don't know either, I guess. Once we get some sunnier days, the sun should melt the little droplets of ice that we have on the panels. And then hopefully we'll be able to come out here and kind of clean up the frozen on leaves and mud. That should give us a cleaner looking panel, but whew, yay. Coming with me? So the wire from the battery system setup comes down And then we have it going underneath the house along here. And you kind of see it kick out. We just tried finding a path that hopefully wasn't going to be in the way or stepped on or driven over, since it's just temporary for right now. Alright. And then I guess Cody's gonna hook him up and not electrocute himself.
Well, I can't really shock myself, but I can when I hook the wire up in the inverter. It's really just if I hooked it up the right way or not. If I have the wires backwards, I could kill the inverter. Okay. I'm pretty sure I've got them right.
So we're gonna double check before we do that final plug-in.
What do you mean? This is the final plug-in.
In the inverter? Do you already have it plugged in there?
Yeah, it's all hooked up. They just need plugged into the panels.
All right, well, let's see what happens, I guess.
I don't...
Weren't these just detangled?
Yes, this happens.
Oh, it's really funny. Doesn't that one also plug into this panel?
No.
It goes into the other side, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this whole thing was a DIY kit, intentionally made so that we could set it up on our own. So it really should be hard to do this wrong.
Yeah. The only part that's easy to get wrong is putting the positive.
Is it charging?
Or it's giving an error, one or the other. Could be the wrong polarity, or it could be that it's charging.
It only beeped once, right?
Yeah. Usually means that it started charging. Well, I'll just clean up these cables and then we take a look at it.
So it's really that easy.
So easy.
I mean, this project took, what, less than an hour? Well, besides, we had a couple things that we still needed to move in this area and backing up the trailer, but once the trailer was in place, it took less than an hour to get these scooched over. All right, he's gonna go check to see if it's charging or doing an error code. We heard the unit beep once inside. I feel the need to already brush these off again. Yeah. This is super exciting though. Ever since...
It's charging off the panels.
It's charging?
Yeah.
Woo! So, after having these placed and watching the sun, we need to kind of angle it that way a little bit more. And I think we're also going to pull it forward because it's not an ideal spot. And we do have a lot of trees kind of blocking the sun right here. So, we're going to do a little bit of a shifting game with those, and then it might give us some better results. Oh, so close.
I'm gonna have to raise it first anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, so just so you go forward and then tilt it that way?
Yeah, I would just drive it forward in as far that way as you can.
I'm gonna have to like go forward and back.
Oh. Yeah. I'm more concerned with it going forward than angling, I think. But
How far forward do you want it?
I would go like 5 feet. Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure the snow is here to stay. It's expected to have quite a bit more coming here soon. And I figured we'd just do a quick walk through the property, see how ready we are for the winter. We've been putting in a lot of work cleaning up and getting wood the last few days. So I'll just kind of show you what we have. Sawmill, I just have something covered over top the motor, and it's going to be sitting there all winter just like that. I still have a lot of cutoffs here. All that still needs cut up. I'm probably going to have to be unburying that in the next few days and getting that all cut up the rest. I still have quite a bit of cutoffs over here too. That's all stacked up that we need cut up. That tarp there is all kind of junkier birch that wasn't super good. It's all cut up and ready to burn. And that's primarily what we're going through first, just trying to use it up in these warmer days. We probably have maybe 1.5 cords there yet. Got 2 snow machines, and we have yet another one that we're going to be picking up. And tractor, is what it is. That's staying right where it is. Just got a few things left over there, and then our greenhouse is all packed full. Every time it snows, we've just been going in and hitting the top off to keep the snow off of it, and then Lori went around this morning and shoveled around the sides. So hopefully this will be fine throughout the winter. We just recently got those panels put up, and we'll be coming out here and shoveling this off. I think I do have to change the angle of this trailer. I need to bring the front end out this way more, get it a little better angle. Those are a couple wood stoves if we ever need. They're for future projects. We have our grill in the camper that we stayed in. Camper still has stuff in it, but it's just going to stay in there for storage most likely. Our big water tank for hauling the water that we won't be using again this year because the truck's not going to be getting back here most likely anymore. We have this little chest freezer that we've been using throughout the summer. Right now it's not plugged in. It's plenty cold enough to keep things frozen. And eventually we got to move that up onto the deck. The deck here is still quite a mess. This is all insulation we still have to put in, and these are just kind of tools and stuff we use pretty frequently outside. And then the generator with our gas tanks for charging up the solar system when needed. That is all wood that I cut from all the cutoffs by the sawmill. We have maybe 1 cord there. It's all nice and dry and easy access, good for kindling. We have the stuff we got from Mitchell's in Alaska. We got about 2.5 cords of seasoned birch, so that's going to be saved for in the really cold months yet. Outhouse, where I don't plan on doing anything more to that this winter. We just keep using a tarp for the door currently. Running back over to the other side of the house, we have a bunch of smaller birch pieces and smaller spruce pieces all stacked here. We've been pulling from that quite a bit. There's about 1 cord there, maybe a little more. And then we have just some weird cut off pieces that I need to chop up yet. And we just got our last load of wood brought in and stacked up today. And we probably have about 6 cords of spruce here. I still need to cut them all up and get them split, but that's a project for another day. The snow seems to be shedding off of our roof pretty well. When it first snowed, it was all sticking up there, and we could see where we still needed the insulation. Over from here to about here, all the snow came off pretty quickly. That's because I still need to get another layer of insulation in that spot. Otherwise, it stuck up there for quite a while. You could see in the middle, I've got a little section I need to put insulation, and you could see where the 2x4s ran. Otherwise, it's been doing pretty good. Up by the chimney around the ridge cap here melted pretty quick, but the chimney obviously was melting that. And I still need to shove some insulation around that chimney because it's kind of open still. But all in all, I think it's pretty good. And it all ran down and has been covering up our gap on the bottom, so that'll keep from wind going underneath our feet and should keep some warmth in there. And then you can see this strip is, because it's the overhang and there's no heat coming through, so it's sticking up there pretty good. We decided to do a hot roof on this just because, well, I did a little bit of research onto it after we already had started, but typically in colder regions, it seems people do what's called a cold roof. And so they have their roof layer and then they have an air gap. And that air gap is open on the bottom and on the top so that it can keep a cool air running through there, so it keeps the snow from melting on your roof. And from what I can tell, that's to keep from getting ice dams, having it melt, run down, and then get an ice dam. And I don't think I'm too worried about the ice dams. One, because we have it running all the way down to the ground. And then two, being a steel roof, I'm not too worried about the ice backing up underneath shingles and causing any damage. So I think we're going to be perfectly fine doing a hot roof and just having it insulated as much as we can. You think we're ready for the winter? Yeah? Excited to run the stow machine in and out now? Soon? This isn't going to be able to make many more trips.
It hasn't made a single trip in the snow yet.
Yeah, that's true. Just getting some wood out of the woods.
I think we got a while still that we can keep using this.
Yeah, I think so.
No. You are just a tad taller than me.
Well, you would be. Would you rather I did?
That's fine. When I step on that little 2x4, it gives me just enough height to reach the top. Oh, that's a big step. They definitely don't give us a lot of sun, but gives us a little bit, and having them up like this is definitely more productive than having them stacked just sitting here not even hooked up. Next year we'll definitely have a good stand and a good place for them to be placed to actually get us some good solar. On to the greenhouse. I'm not going to today, but on other days we've also gone along the side and kind of shoveled the snow away from the edges. I did that the other day, but we have to head into town today, so just don't feel like it. We'll do that later.